Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Spirit Tribe Tea Talk Show. We are so happy you're here. So I want to talk to you a little bit and welcome again with our cup here. Everybody got their drink? Because they all need it. They've been nervous Nellies. Okay.
Cheers.
So what I want to do initially, starting out to give people some time, is our show today is going to be interactive. So go grab some paper and a pencil or a pen, or if you have your notes on your tablet or phone, that's fine too. Be prepared to do that because we'd really like to do that. We have Kendra here today doing astrological events. We're going to have Danelle doing the affirmation a little bit later. Natalie's going to do the oracle card reading, and Frankie's going to do the crystal. I am your facilitator. Now, the other good part about that too is I cut Frankie off a little bit, right? You're thinking I didn't give her very much time to talk. She's going to have 20 some odd minutes because she is our featured presenter today. She's going to talk to you a little bit about her business that she's doing. And she's going to help us today by inviting us to get clear and in alignment. And we're going to explore how real transformation is going to begin within through mindful awareness, intentional living, and reconnecting with your deeper purpose. This gentle, uplifting conversation. So remember, Frankie, gentle, uplifting conversation helps you realign and rise. And we'll also guide you through a short exercise. And she said it'd be short. If it doesn't seem like it's going to be short enough, don't worry, folks. I'll cut her off. But we're really excited because every now and then when we talk about coaching and so forth, we all need a little bit. Sometimes we just need a little nudge that we don't realize that we need. And when we're asking for answers and we're searching, you never know where that answer is going to come from. And it might just be within a session of a coaching session like is going to happen today, or the oracle reading that's going to happen today. So keep an open mind. We hope you enjoy it. And that's what's in store for you today. Now, I have something else exciting I want to tell you about real quick that we're excited about. So you may have noticed something. We're not professionals at this. We're new at this, but we're having fun. Right. And the reason I say that is we're also trying to figure out how and where our strengths lie and putting ourselves outside of our comfort zone. So that's why I'm facilitating today. But the other part about that is, we like bloopers. So we thought, well, we'll share our bloopers and our back scene stories and things that don't make it a live show. And we're going to record that. And so we're going to put the first one out sometime towards the end of May. And it's called Tea Talk Inner Circle Edition. Excuse me, it's so watch for that. It's going to be fun. And there's nuggets of wisdom in that as well. So sit back, relax. First off, I want to ask, Kendra, didn't you just get back from a trip? Something about little munchkins and zoo and all that kind of stuff?
I did. I spent Mother's Day with my son and daughter-in-law and my grandson, who's 3, and it was fantastic up in the Seattle area. And the weather was gorgeous. Beautiful. It was perfect. It was sunny in the Seattle area, which is not always the case. And it was like 70 degrees. And we went to Imagine Children's Museum, and that was fun. And then, just spent the time with my son and daughter-in-law and the little guy. Had so much fun.
Nice.
How cute.
I think I'm one of the only ones that doesn't have kids or grandkids in here. So how did all the other moms do and stuff? Grandmoms. Feel free.
Mother's Day.
For Mother's Day. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. We had a great time. Yeah. I took my mom and I went to Bisbee and we had lunch and did some shopping. It was a beautiful day.
So for reference, for those individuals that don't know, Natalie is excited because her mom just moved back to Arizona. So she is catching up on some time mother-daughter bonding time and so forth. So that's always exciting to get to reconnect and all those kinds of things. Well, hello, Wendy. Hello, Maura. Welcome to the show. So,
is it Mora or Moira? You got to correct us because we say this every time the show happens, and I'm like, well, wait, are we saying her name right? So how do you say it?
How can she correct us? I'm pretty sure it's Moira.
Hi.
She's a cat.
Oh, there she
Angel
is.
said.
Hello. It was an amazing day, she said.
There's Mom. Cat Mom
Moira's
here.
a cat.
Oh,
mom.
so she had a
cat
great
mama.
Mother's Day.
She did. I did too. It was wonderful.
So Maura, if we are saying your name correctly as Maura, can you give a thumbs up?
Moira.
Okay, simple Moira. We are saying Moira.
Thank you.
Okay.
Wait, wasn't that the lady's name on Schitt's Creek? That television show? I think it was Moira. Thank you, Natalie. I avoided watching that show for years, and then we finally started watching it. So it was really funny. You got to get into it.
Good.
Yeah, she's like thumbs up.
Good.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
That's how I knew her name.
We're having some technical difficulties on Facebook. It didn't connect on Facebook, so I put a post out that they should go to YouTube if they're watching it. So
okay.
Oh, okay. I know the weather is weird here, so I will say that as well. So if some of us end up getting knocked off when we were getting ready for the live show, some of us froze. So if that happens, we'll be back. Okay. So
not knocked up, right?
Did I say knocked up? Oh my goodness!
No, you did not. You did not.
Knocked off. We don't mean dead either. Boy,
well,
there's the unprofessional. We're not professionals. Here we are.
Also, I meant to say thank you as well to those individuals that help us out with our giving technical advice and after show critique and so forth. We do appreciate it, and we are taking that information seriously and working it in. So again, thank you very much. So let's get ready and start off with astrological events. I know that if Kendra is going to be talking about that, but I know so far things have been coming to me really fast. Things have been answers that I have requested are all of a sudden like right there in my face. And so I'd be interested to find out what I'm going to be expecting the rest of the month, Kendra.
Well, I was telling somebody today, like last month when Danelle did the astrological planning for the month, it was intense and everything was fast. And I'm pretty sure she said, buckle up, Buttercup. And literally when I was looking at it today, that was the thought that came to my mind was, oh, I need to tell everybody to buckle up because it's still going to keep going. So just in a little bit of a different ride. So take a deep breath with us, those of you who are joining. The cosmic energy between now and our next live show, which is June 10th, for anybody who's listening or watching, it's going to be kind of like the universe says, let's give them a full journey of growth and change all at once, as if we haven't been experiencing that already, right? So, but this one is going to be all about grounding and awakening and revealing, and then it's topped off with a nice emotional smoothie at the end, so to speak. So May 16th through 21st is kind of basically one thing after another. And May 16th is Saturday. I think Danelle did a video for the app because we start with a new moon on Saturday. And this new moon is in Taurus. So this is like the come back into your body moon and stop spiraling and drink some water, which is something I like tell myself regularly. I feel like if I don't do anything in a day, if I drink water, I have accomplished something. Like, that's good. Yay, just drink your water. Yay, you've been productive. My niece and I used to talk to each other about that all the time. So also really good to touch some grass, literally, like just touch the grass. So come back into your body, drink water, stop spiraling, almost like having yourself a little cosmic spa day internally. So the new moon, it's time to reset your values, your stability, and your nervous system. So it's kind of, you need to think of it as the universe, the universe saying, handing you a weighted blanket and saying, ground yourself, right? So the Taurus and the new moon in Taurus is really all about like grounding. So whenever we feel like we're spiraling, just take a breath and ground. And like Moira said, astrology has been kicking her rear end this month. And I think it's kind of been intense for a lot of us. So it continues. Go, Shannon. Yeah.
So just to say this too, and I have this, if you feel like you're grounding and it's not working, it's not that you're not grounding. It's not that you're not doing it correctly. Maybe you just need to add a slightly different way to ground with it, or add a little bit more time, or change the timing that you're grounding.
Yeah.
Because that it's going to shift a little bit and help adjust those energies, help you move them out as well.
And now it's May. No, you're right. That's good. And right now it's May. So for me, I'm really working in the garden, which I was going to blow off this year, but Wendy, my sister-in-law, who's joining us also, she called me up in March. She's like, well, we have to do this. This is something we do together. And I'm so thankful that she encouraged me, because that is where I get my grounding from. But also, I know that even like up north where you are, Frankie, things are starting to warm up. And if you can get your feet on some grass, like everybody who can find grass, even if you have to go to like a park or a hotel, someplace, and just put your bare feet on the grass, just break into a golf course. It'll be fine.
Oh, that kind of grass. Oh, gotcha.
If we go to the cannabis store,
I was going somewhere else.
If we go to a cannabis store and they drop it on the floor, does that count? If we step
on it?
Yeah. For where it's legal, sure. Okay, so then after the new moon and we're doing all the grounding and it's lovely, things are going to speed up again. So Mercury, Mars, and Venus are all doing shifts. So it starts on May 17th. Mercury enters Gemini, and it's going to be like suddenly everybody is talking, texting, thinking, overthinking, thinking about overthinking. I know, like your brain is on caffeine, but like cosmic caffeine. So, but the good part about that is this is where ideas will spark, conversations will flow. It's kind of like mental popcorn, but if you can take those nuggets that come from it and just breathe your way through it, it should be amazing. This is where those revelations come in. And then the next day, on May 18th, Mars enters Taurus. This is good because this is a slow and steady action. So it's like, I'm not running, but I am walking with purpose, right? So with purpose. So it's kind of like, I do this. Do you ever go to Target or a store and you go in for one thing? Like, I'm going to go for laundry soap, but I get the laundry soap, but also by the time I go to check out, I have a cart full of clothes and groceries and dog food and maybe some other things, like home decor, some other things I don't really need. So it's a little scattered, but also there's purpose involved. So it's focused, but also a little scattered. And so we'll just go with that one. And then the next day, May 19th, Venus enters Cancer. So this reminds me of my little grandson we were just talking about, because he's become quite the little snuggle bug now that he's 3. And it's so lovely. So Venus enters Cancer, and suddenly everybody wants like emotional snacks. So if you find yourself eating, it's part of the blame it on Venus entering Cancer, like those snacks.
Okay.
Cuddles and comfort and softness. So it's things kind of become a little gentle. And so it's kind of the I love you, but can you hand me that blanket so I can cuddle up in it and snuggle. Okay, so then we breathe for just a moment.
I want to interrupt you there for a second, because something I'm being impressed to say this. I like how you are presenting this. I like how Danelle presented it last month as well, because sometimes we can go through and we can see what potentially is going to help, or what's going to be happening for us astrologically, but we don't think about what it means for us personally in that time frame. So like, yes, getting those extra snuggles. Why am I feeling a little bit more emotional? What's the matter with me? Instead of asking what's the matter with me, honor what you're feeling. That's number one. You need to honor the feelings that you're having. It's okay to have the feelings, but then allow that energy to help propel you in the direction you need to, because that might actually be a healing path that you need to complete, but you're not letting yourself, because you're not thinking about those other things. You're just thinking, oh, great, just another thing. Now I'm upset about this, and this, and I'm be crying through the whole day at work, but you're not honoring the energy that's coming through to help cleanse what needs to be cleared out. So go ahead.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to the emotional side of things yet. You know, I have all my notes here. But you're right, Shannon, and I really appreciate you saying that too, because I am one of those analytical people who every time, and my mom and I both do this, and I keep telling her I do it too. We feel tired, like, right? When you feel tired and you're going, there's no reason for me to feel tired. Like, I've gotten plenty of sleep. I'm eating right. What's going on? Sometimes it's just like those biorhythms. It's just part of the flow. So I think that that's important, is that analyzing it and overanalyzing it, it's okay, but really just honoring and experiencing that and knowing.
We need to listen to the best indicator of what's going on with us, and we need to be give ourselves permission and kindness to take care of it and honor that. Otherwise, we don't believe ourselves when we're actually getting those feelings. So for alignment purposes, that's very important.
Yeah,
so,
I love that, Shannon. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so moving on to May 21st, that is the shift of the astrological sign. So that's when the sun enters Gemini. And this is going to be fun because it's playful and curious and chatty energy. So my chat GPT said it's when everyone becomes like a little golden retriever, and I had to use that because I thought it was so cute, because I'm a dog person. It's like we're all just wagging our energetic tails and sniffing out new ideas. So I was like, oh, okay, all right. So those of you who have puppies or like dogs, right? I know that's what I thought. So I was like, okay. So yeah. So think of on May 21st when we're all just like wagging our tails. It's that cheerful and joyful energy. And then, so I feel like
from the tree.
Step away from the tree. Yeah. So then we go to the full moon on May 31st. So this is a blue moon month where there are 2 full moons in the month. So May 1st was the flower moon, I think. Does anybody know what the 31st, what type of moon it is? Blue moon? Is that the blue moon?
That is the blue moon.
Okay. So May 31st is the blue moon. And so the full moon coming into Sagittarius is a truth teller. So this is where, Shannon, you were saying you've been experiencing this month, but I think a lot of people will really connect and have like revelations and breakthroughs. You may make a dramatic life decision or two. It's kind of like the cosmic megaphone. So listen to your intuition, because it could be coming through, that those revelations could be coming through, breakthroughs. Notice the signs that you're receiving, also it's kind of like, you wake up at 3 a.m. and you're wandering around. You're like, oh my gosh, I finally know my purpose. This is where the moon is in Sagittarius. Yeah. Not that we don't already know our purpose, but sometimes life smacks you upside the head with a 2x4. And this is a good way. If it just wakes you up at 3 a.m., that's a good way to find out your life purpose. So then there are also, Shannon, do I need to, am I good?
Yep. You're going to need to like zero.
Okay. So there's also some deeper undercurrents, planetary undercurrents. They're doing their slow, dramatic background acting because those transits take a lot longer. So Jupiter is in Taurus, and that's about expanding your abundance, but responsibly. And I think the app, one of the things that Frankie has had us focus on in the month of May has been like expansion and abundance. So I think that that's really important. That's part of Jupiter being in Taurus. Pluto is in Aquarius, which I've seen several reels on the internet about this. And my cousin actually texted me and she was like, why am I having all these mini identity crises? And by the way, that's just part of it's the fun kind. Pluto is in Aquarius. That's what's going on.
And very slow moving.
Yes, because Pluto is one of those long transits. So welcome to the age of Aquarius, people. And I have been experiencing this myself. Neptune and Pisces may be making your dreams extra weird, but your intuition extra loud also. So, Shannon, this is kind of for you. If you're dreaming about riding a dolphin through space again, it's Neptune.
That's the issue right there. It's Neptune.
Right. It's Neptune. Or it could be your subconscious asking for a vacation, but it's probably Neptune. These are water signs.
We should go on a vacation just to make sure.
Yeah. Oh, right. We'll just all go on vacation to make sure.
We'll test.
I'll let you know the end of May. I got in the water. We had our first pool session, so dive season has started.
Oh, good.
Yay. I'm so glad. So Uranus is in Taurus, and it's sending little energetic jump scares, which is the sudden clarity and unexpected shifts. And you combine all of this with what's happening with the moon, it's really kind of fun. So basically, this is like an emotional whack-a-mole, but with spiritual prizes.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Let's see. June 1st, two more things. June 1st is when Mercury enters Cancer. Everything integrates and communication gets emotional. So if you weren't already emotional with the other stuff, Mercury enters Cancer. And so people may start saying things like, I didn't mean to cry, but here we are again. And so it's like, be patient and kindness with other people. And then June 5th through the 10th is kind of like what we get a cosmic landing, and everything should start to settle and click into place. And hopefully we're all going to be saying, okay, I get it now. Like, it all makes sense. So, and then we'll have our next live show and someone else can tell us what happens after June 10th. But so just remember, and we're here about grounding, awakening, expanding, revealing, and integrating. So trust your body, trust your heart, and trust the universe is guiding you.
All right. Beautiful, Kendra. Thank you so much. So for those that joined us after we started, thank you and welcome aboard. But please grab a piece of paper and pen or pencil, because when Frankie starts her presentation, she wants us to be interactive. So it's a perfect opportunity to take what Kendra said, take what is going to come up with oracle reading from Natalie. Have your intention set for when Frankie starts talking, and I will remind you that she's going to go over what she's going to give you a little taste of what her life coaching direction and goal for people are. So that's what she wants to do. So Natalie, take it away.
All right. I love what Wendy said about she would love to hear how our astrological events that we talk about on this show, how they've affected us. Maybe the next month. That's good feedback.
And anybody who's listening or watching, like, you can go on YouTube or Facebook and comment so that next month we can address it. Like, as the month goes through, we can always address that. Yeah. So how it's going for the people who are joining us.
Great idea.
Great. Okay. Well, so I picked up a new Oracle deck. I was out, and like I already said, I was out in Bisbee with my mom, and we were shopping at Wolfbone Emporium. I just love that store, Wolfbone Emporium. And I picked up this Oracle deck, Mystic Sisters. And I just kind of pick my decks like I pick my wine. They just have beautiful art.
Ah,
Nice.
Yeah, so the card I pulled today was the Meso Goddess. Meso Goddess, I hope I'm saying that right. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
Up just a little bit. Up just no.
I can
Up.
see
There
it.
you
There you go. Yeah.
go. Okay. Okay, that's good.
Beautiful.
And so if you notice her, there's some musical notes. So she's singing. She's singing her her song. And she represents she's the goddess of manifestation and also creativity and ambition.
This is a fantastic card, Natalie.
And yeah, I know, I love it. And so I'm not done. I'm going a little slow, but I'm not done.
And it
So
fits in with this month.
she bends, she bends her will, bends fate. So talking about manifesting, and when you're manifesting, when you begin to manifest, it just comes to you as an idea. So you just are thinking of something. And you start to voice your manifestation. And as you gain clarity, it gets louder. And you manifest and you can grow more clarity. And I just want to read part of this. And it takes time. It takes time to perfect your song. So I just really like the end of this. So I'm going to read it. It takes time to perfect your soul song and to hone your vision so that it may be projected into the most positive outcome you can imagine. So now's the time. Now's the time to start listening to your manifestation. Start gaining your ideas. Start quietly voicing them. And as you gain clarity, they will manifest. Now's the time.
That is
Nice.
fantastic. So everybody, I would invite you to think on that. Write down your intentions. And I know Frankie has a goal for us and on how she's going to be handling the exercises that she wants us to do. Sorry, I had a brain cramp. Probably because I'm trying to think about manifesting what I want to manifest during this part. But Frankie, are you ready?
Yeah. I am. And
Oh, wait a minute.
Mia,
Mia
said she had a question. Go ahead, Mia. What's your question before I get started with the coaching stuff? You can type it in there and we'll address it as we go, or we might address it at the end, Mia. So type your question in there. All right, guys. So grab your pen and paper, okay? And what I want to talk about today is I got certified in transformative life coaching course. So with transformative life coaching, I am doing workshops, and I have a 12-week course that some people have already started, and I'm going to be running it over and over, as well as I have a 90-minute alignment course. So it's all about being in alignment with your inner self, with who you really are. It's about changing patterns, changing behaviors, working on your triggers. I learned so much in this course, and this course was presented by two different therapists. So this is psychology based. I love psychology. I want to give you a little bit about my background, though. I was raised by my grandparents. Both of my parents left me when I was little, and my brother. So I did come from a broken home. I had a family of substance abuse. So I went through a lot with seeing substance abuse in my family. Luckily, I was the oddball who didn't participate in the substance abuse. I took the opposite approach. So therapy has always interested me. People interest me. My kids say that I'm nosy because I'm always asking why. And this just clicked. This program is like everything clicked with me because I'm always like, why are they doing that? Why do you do that? I need to know why we're doing this. Like, that's just how my brain works, right? And so I went back to be a nurse, and I've been a nurse for 16 years, and I specialize mostly in the mental health field. Go figure, right? right out of nursing school, I started in a residential facility with kids 8 to 18 that have a juvenile component, and they had a mental health component. So it was a lock-in facility. These kids came from traumatic backstories. A lot of them had been abused horribly. So I saw that aspect, and they were very desensitized. So they were very volatile. We learned therapeutic crisis intervention. We learned how to de-escalate a situation. We had to be very careful because the kids could be very violent, right? So that was my first night as the nurse there training. There was a riot in the cottage. So the next day I came back and staff said, we were taking bets if you were coming back today or not, right? So there's a huge burnout, not only in the medical field, but in mental health field. And as I worked through the mental health field for years, I saw people come and go, people being desensitized. I worked in the jails as I traveled, and 3.5 years ago, I sold my house and car, was an empty nester. How many of you out there feel like maybe you're empty nesting and life is changing and you don't really know who you are, right? So for years, you've taken care of other people, right? Maybe you're a caregiver now. You're taking care of people. You're taking care of your own kids. I did that. That was when my mom passed away and my kids all left. And I was like, going to the grocery store and buying all the foods and getting to the checkout that my kids used to eat. And it wasn't even stuff that I liked to eat, right? It was just such a habit that I started to feel like, who am I? And all this time I've taken care of other people. What do I want to do? Like one daughter said, what is it you want to do? And I said, I don't even know, right? The one answer was, I want to wake up every day at a retreat. Like if I could have anything, and we're going to talk about this in an exercise we're going to do. So I worked at the jails as I traveled around. I worked at the juvenile detention centers. I always found myself getting drawn back into, I worked at Suboxone clinics where we were giving methadone out to and Suboxone to the heroin addicts. I did the clean needle exchange for the free clinic and went and gave clean needles to the addicts on the street. So here we are at the Suboxone clinic dosing pregnant moms, and their children are being born addicted, right? I'm in jail giving Narcan to, I worked on the reservations. So I'm in jail giving Narcan to bring people around who are facing substance abuse. So this whole cycle of, I saw so many things in the nursing fields. I worked at summer camps where one of the summer camps was an affluent all boys rich camp where movie star parents flew their kids in from boarding school that costs more than most colleges to stay all summer. And I was the nurse there, and I had to give them all of their anxiety medication, their ADHD medication, the same medication that I gave to, I did another summer camp with kids whose parents had cancer or had cancer, Camp Kesem. It's sponsored by colleges. It's a wonderful program if you know anybody. But all of these kids in jail and camps, they're all on all of these medications for mental health. And I know so many people struggle with like mental health. So I'm very passionate about, I always felt myself, I like to be a nurse and help people, but I'm more interested in helping people emotionally and mentally. And I always find myself sitting down with someone on a bench who tells me their whole life story, and I don't even know who they are, right? So I just seem to gravitate. So when I finish this course and we're going through the first round of this course, I'm like, this course is totally clicking with me of how to work with people to change things. So if you are feeling out of alignment, you're going to work every day and you hate what you do, you're not happy there, but you don't know how to make a change. If you feel stuck and you just don't have the energy, if you're taking care of parents and you're burnt out, if you're a nurse or a teacher and you're in the field where you're burnt out, you don't know what to do, you're not in alignment, you know, like Shannon and everyone talked about earlier, you know, this is mind, body, and spirit. Are you in alignment with your true self? So when we go through these exercises in this program, I'm going to ask you to be brutally honest because this is for you. It's not for anybody else. And that's the biggest part of this course. This is the biggest part of what you hear Joe Dispenza talk about and all of that is, are you aligned with who you really are and what you really want to do, not what your parents think you should be doing, not what your family expects from you, not what all of these things that you can't say no to. How many of you have at work, they're asking you to do a million things, right? And you just don't know how to say no. No is a complete sentence. And there's nothing wrong with being selfless, taking time to say, and I teach this in the class, like Natalie's in the class, she can tell you all the time, is if someone asks you to do something and you get that inner feeling, you know, that inner gut feeling in your stomach, in your chest, it might be in your heart, it might be in your gut. For me, it's my gut. And your gut clenches up when someone starts to ask you something because you know exactly what they're going to ask a favor of you, right? That you're not sure you want to commit to, but you don't know how to say no. How about to say, let me check my calendar and I'll get back with you. Okay. So when you leave, you can go home and be honest with yourself. Is this in alignment with what serves my highest good? What serves your inner self? And do you know even what that is? Have you been conditioned so long that we all have what I call triggers? And we're going to talk about those things that somebody might do or say that automatically cause you to react a certain way because that's how you either were raised, you were taught, or you experienced something in life that caused you to first-handedly feel and associate that with an experience you had, right? So many of us can say that. So I want to talk to you about being in alignment with your true self. And this doesn't have to be a huge transformational change, although it can be. It could be you're just simply trying to figure out what you really want. And maybe you don't know. Maybe it's a small step where you're learning how to just say no and take a little bit of time for self-introspective and self-care. We talk about that all the time on the show, right?
Yeah.
I want to read you something, okay? Here's some things to think about. And they talk about, I know you always hear Joe Dispenza say neurons that fire together, wire together, right? That this is that learned behavior, that trigger, right? But repeated thoughts become beliefs, okay? Repeated thoughts, things you think about become beliefs. Repeated beliefs become influential and emotional, right? It has to have an emotion behind it, right? And repeated emotions influence your behavior or form a pattern of the way you react. And repeated behavior creates your identity. Okay. So when we talk about this life alignment, a lot of this doesn't happen overnight, right? Because change is hard, right? We didn't form these opinions and things overnight. So changing something takes work and sometimes takes a support system, right? You can't do it alone. Look at all these people here. This is my support system. If you look at these women, they're empowering.
Right.
We encourage each other. We are always there to pick each other up if we're having a bad day. So I want you to think of this example, okay? If there was a rainbow, at the end of the rainbow, there's always a pot of gold, right? In theory, okay? So we're going to use this hypothetically. At the end of the rainbow is what you want more of in your life, okay? So I want you to take a moment and on your pen and paper, I want you to write down what you want more of in your life, okay? And it could be a small thing or it could be a really big thing, okay? And just put maybe one thing for today because we go way into this in the chapter, okay? More put time, okay? All right, so once you've written that down, I want to ask you this. Why does that matter to you? So write that down. Why does that matter to you?
Okay. Frankie?
Yes.
Frankie, just real quick, I just want to say something. Mia, you're new here, and for anybody else that's new, if you have questions, please type them in because we don't have that ability to talk back and forth, but we will look at your question and then get that answer as quickly as possible at the end. So we are seeing that, but it's not an interactive where we can talk to you back on here. Just wanted to explain that. Go ahead, Frankie.
Thank you. Okay. So couple of you somebody throw out what they wanted at the end of the rainbow.
Meaningful connections.
Meaningful connections. Why do you want meaningful connections?
Because that's why we're here.
Okay. And why does that matter to you?
Well, because the meaningful connections will carry with us if we've learned our lessons, but the material aspect of life will not.
Okay. Now, I want to bring you back to, we're talking about you and not what all the expectations are from other people, other things, or situations. So why does a meaningful connection, why or what does that mean to you? I'm looking for an emotional response.
Well, look at a different spot.
So you can see
I understand what you're saying, but for me, because I did not always get that in the essence that I felt I should get that as a young individual growing up.
Right.
So I am cultivating that with the individuals that I'm keeping close. I'm cultivating that, because that is what what it really truly means to be alive and to be participating and so forth. So
Love. The highest frequency there is.
Yeah.
So as you can see, and the example we did, the why is maybe, and I'll give you another example. Okay. So there was a workshop and they asked this question and the girl said, well, I want a promotion at work, right? Maura said more time, right? I want a promotion at work. Well, why do you want the promotion at work? Well, because then I'll make more money, right? Well, why do you want to make more money? Because my mom and I and my sister could buy a house together. Well, why do you want to buy a house together with your mom and sister? Because we always talked about doing that. So you can see where when we start getting into this, I want to dig deep into why do you really want these things? It's not for anybody else to benefit anybody else. It's for you. How would it make you feel? And what would happen if you did this or you didn't have this? Kendra.
Are you calling on me? Oh, good, teacher. For those of you who liked Welcome Back, Cotter. So when I studied my yoga teacher training, one of my good friends, Diane Giretti, she did a workshop for us on a Sankalpa. So Sankalpa, I don't know, Natalie, if you guys study that, you're nodding your head, but it is like that powerful thing that you want more than anything else. Like, what do you want from life? And so she did similar workshop, like write down what do you want? So I can go back even years ago, because this is still the same thing. And what I wrote down, my one word, she had us write down just one word, which was freedom at the time. And then we expanded on that, and then we meditated on it. And this is where I'm going to connect with Moira here. No way.
I put freedom.
That's so funny. So I'm going to connect with Moira on this, because I ended up expanding that and saying freedom in all aspects of my life. And that goes time freedom, money freedom, job freedom, right? So freedom in all aspects of my life. And I'm already going to answer the why. You said, which did make me pause. And I was like, okay, why do I want that? But the reason that I want that is because I love having the choices to do whatever I want, whenever I want. If you have financial freedom and you have relationship freedom and you have where you're living freedom, you can travel, like you have money, you can buy what you want, like freedom in all aspects of my life. So I feel like we've studied this.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what I put, freedom.
But I'm selfish. I want what I want when I want. See, look, Shannon's like, oh, good connections. No, Kendra's like, I want to be free so I can have whatever I want.
No. So I encourage you to really sit down and write some things out and really look at the why. And we go into this a lot more. And Moira said freedom. Yes, year after year. Yeah. If you don't know what you want, that's totally okay. Write down what you don't want. And this is an exercise we do. And write the opposite of what you don't want, because that is what you want, right? So it will give you an idea. So we did a whole exercise of write down everything you don't want and then write the opposite of it. So we go into many exercises. Yes, Shannon, for that part.
I'm just
Go
going
ahead.
to add a little caveat in there because I do it myself. This is terrible. I'm just going to come out and say it.
Confessions of Shannon.
Great ideas. It is bad, but I cannot be the only one out there. And I made a vow that if I just help one person, then it's all worth it. When you write stuff down, remember to go back and read it. You might actually learn something from it. I
Yeah.
write stuff all the time, and then I don't go back and look at it. And that was one of my lessons that I got clarity-wise in between this last moon and so forth was, okay, you are having the answers. You've written them down before. You have some of the clarity, but now you need to go back and read them. And so when you write this stuff down, feel free to be confident enough in yourself to go back and read what you wrote to yourself. Give yourself that blessing.
Mm-hmm.
No. So the workbook in the full course is 99 pages, and it is all workbook. So I do encourage the students to go back and reread because we cover so many things. So let's go on to another part. So you've got this thing that you want at the end of your rainbow, right? But it's a long journey to get to the end of the rainbow. You might get tired halfway there, and you might get discouraged and be like, I don't know if I'm going to make it, right? So let's talk about change and what's holding you back from making changes, right? So there's some major elements, okay? So the major element is, one of them is you might just get tired along the journey and feel like your goal might be out of reach, right? What if you told your friends and family you were following the rainbow to get what you wanted? What would they say to you? Come on. What would some of your friends and family say if you were chasing a rainbow? What would your first thing your family and friends would say?
With what we're wanting or with you
better get a pony.
I'm following that rainbow because what I want is out there. What do you think your friends and family are going to say?
I think some will be supportive and some will think you're crazy. What are you doing?
So when you go to make change, you're going to get a lot of resistance. And when you make change, it doesn't only affect you, it affects others around you, right? Did you ever make 100%. A change and someone said, what's wrong with you today? What if you said no? What if you said no when you always say yes? What usually happens with that? People don't take that.
I mean, I've had friends fall out of my life. Fall out. Exact reason.
Yes.
Yeah. So a lot of it is, and Moira said, who's going to pay the bills? I get that, Moira, but this is about implementing small changes to make bigger changes. So it doesn't have to be a big change, although I'll tell you, I sold my house and car, bought a motor home, and I left with no plans. I came back to Ohio last year with no place to stay, no job. I sold everything again. And next month, guess what I'm doing again? I'm getting rid of everything I have again. I don't have a job. I have a car. And I'm going back to Arizona for 5 months. So because I feel passionate about...
Because we miss you.
They miss me, but I feel passionate about every time I take a traditional job, it's just not working. And look, I came home, I broke my arm, everything's not quite going. So when I've downsized 3 times, I'm realizing I don't need much to really be happy. And the older I get, the more I realize it's more about the time and the memories you make than the things you have. And it's pretty freeing to get rid of things, not have stuff. Okay. So you've got lots of things with change, right? Fear of rejection. How many of you are feared of being judged, right? People judge us all the time. We talk about being non-judgmental, but how many times do we tend to judge people by looking at them, right? If someone told me they were chasing after a rainbow, I'd be like, what kind of drugs are you on? Like, what's going on, right? We maybe lack the confidence, right, to do it. We don't think we have the ability to do it, right? What about the consequences? Like Maura said, what about the consequences if I make a change? All these people depend on me. What are they going to do without me? and lack of clarity and motivation. So there's a lot of things, and the biggest one is fear, right? But what if, and we do exercises to overcome all of these, I always say, like, what's the worst that can happen? You know, I go to Arizona, it doesn't work out, and I come back, right? So there's
Honestly,
always...
That's what Wendy does too. And so I know Wendy's always on here watching and listening. And she walked me through a really dark time in my life by asking me, so what is the worst that can happen? And when I told her, which it's devastating, she said, okay, and then what do you do? Like, we always get through it, right?
Yeah.
So she uses that philosophy. I'm the glass half full, so I like to think of the positive outcome. But when you're experiencing something really dark or challenging, like you said, Frankie, what's the worst that can happen? And I feel like that is a good thing to consider, because then you, like, that's the worst, like, that's the worst thing that can happen, but there's lots of things in between there and the best thing that can happen.
And you know what? Tomorrow you could wake up, be diagnosed with cancer, have a huge medical bill, lose your house, lose like, there is no guarantees in life. So there's always something that can go wrong, right? But what if, just what if everything went right? What if good things happen? What if you had a support system, right? Like, if you give up drinking, they tell you can't go back to being around all those people you used to drink with, right? So you have to have new friends. So if you're going to a group of friends or family and all they do is make you feel bad about everything you do, and then your self-esteem comes down, don't you think maybe you need to set some boundaries? Maybe you need to find some people that are like-minded like you, that are encouraging. So it's stepping out of that comfort zone. I'm my therapist, I go to therapy. I've gone for years. My therapist calls me an out-of-box thinker, and then she said that makes other people uncomfortable because I don't fit into what they want to fit me into, right? But however, she said, it is brave, right? It's brave to try something, and it's even braver to be able to say, that didn't work for me. That's okay. I'm going to try something else. Okay. But in our mind, what's the first things we think when we think of trying something? And what? We think of failing, right?
Yeah.
What will our friends say? What will people think of us? Not ready. So we work through this in the course about helping you get aligned and helping you work through these things. And it's all about going within to who you are. Who is that inner child? What do they want? What did they want when you were little? We do that as an exercise. And Wendy said, what's the worst thing that can happen? And can I live through that? Or how? I mean, we can all live through a lot of things, right? Yeah. It's all about how we cope or deal with them, right? Okay. I want to talk about like these beliefs we built up, and maybe these beliefs don't serve us anymore, right? I want you to think of one belief or a trigger, I would call them kind of similar. One thing that you believe, that where did that belief come through that maybe you want to change? So what is a belief that maybe you want to change that you don't like? Think of it as a trigger. What is something that happens that triggers you to act a certain way, and maybe you don't love that?
I jump to conclusions. I get angry or frustrated, and I make mountains out of molehills until I rationalize everything. Takes me a minute.
So I want you, with that belief, to answer these couple questions. Where did that belief come from? And this is where we're questioning beliefs to replace them. Is it true? Is this belief true? And how do you know it's true?
Yeah.
And how does it negatively impact your life? Can you think of situations where maybe that belief caused a fight with somebody, or it didn't work out so well, or okay?
Yeah, this actually just happened.
And what would you like to change it to? So instead of that belief that you're carrying around that probably no longer serves you, maybe you learned it in childhood, maybe you had a bad experience. I talk about this on TikTok all the time, it's about exes and breaking up. Like, you may have had a bad experience in the past and someone cheated on you, right? So now you're super jealous, you're suspicious all the time. How do you think that affects the future relationship if you're always jealous and you're always accusing that person of cheating on you and maybe they aren't cheating on you at all? How would that affect things? What would you want to change about that belief that no longer serves you? Maybe it's a belief from childhood, right? Who has a belief from childhood that you grew up with that you just doesn't fit in your world, or it came from your culture? So we talk about changing these beliefs, and we talk about the beliefs in a lot of different categories. About money. How do you believe about money? How do you believe about your career? How about your future? How do you believe about relationships? Maybe you grew up with a bad example of relationships and you don't think relationships are great. So how do you think that affects your future relationships, right? So what's holding you back from making a change, right? And we talked about it doesn't have to be a big change, but changing some of these beliefs that are limited, right? We talk about an open mindset, a positive mindset versus a closed mindset, right? So can you be more open about how you think about things, right? And how do we make this change happen to change our story, right? So
Frankie,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna interrupt you. Take a breath.
Okay.
I want you to think. I want to ask this question, so we can give our listening audience a chance to think about all that information that you just provided. Because I also see some people writing and they're trying to think, okay, should I answer this question or that question or this part, because it's all good and it's all related. But how, if somebody was looking at this, and I'm not to insult anybody's intelligence at all, that's not where I'm going at all, but some people may be wondering, well, how is this going to help me on my journey in spiritual development? How does it all tie in doing this class to help me grow or be more open-minded to see what I need to see to improve my connection with spirit?
Well, first of all, spirit connection is individual and inside, right? I think this is being authentic. So are you truly following your practice? Are you meditating? Are you going within and honoring who you really are? And when you do that, what is it you want? What is your spiritual connection? Maybe you've been afraid to trust your intuition. We talk about intuition all the time, right? This is all about just finding out who you really are. Maybe you're a great tarot reader and you just don't believe it. And I really work hard to empower the practitioners that we get on the app and everybody who, the girls will tell you, last year, did we think we would be on a podcast doing this?
No.
You know what I said to them
No.
last year? We're going to start a podcast. And they're like, what? No. Will we be making videos?
We're going to start an app. What?
We're going to start an
What?
app that features practice. And guess what? You guys can all read cards, right? Anybody can learn to read cards. You can learn to be a medium. You can study and practice. And this all comes down to believing in yourself, aligning with your true self, and being honest with who you are. Now, if you're not ready to take that step right away, I tend to do baby steps with people because that seems to work. So, it's building that confidence. It's believing you have the ability to do things. And how does that happen? It doesn't happen sitting at home doubting yourself, right? It doesn't happen listening to the people who don't believe in you. You've got to go out and meet people. You've got to watch our app. You've got to come to the show here and learn more about spiritual practices. You've got to join our groups and come to some of our retreats we're going to host soon, where we're going to have great like-minded people who are supportive. It's starting a kindness chat. Maybe we sign a monthly kindness community chat where you can come and be uplifted, right? It's a safe space to come and be your authentic self. So even if you can't go to work and be your authentic self, you can at least come to a group and after work, be your authentic self or learn how you are. And that's what the coaching courses are. That's what the 90-minute alignment program, I put one for the end of the month, like all of that. If you want to work to figure out what really resonates with you, who you really are, whether it's you want to learn to be a good tarot reader, or you want to learn to see if you have gifts, or you just want to figure out where you're supposed to be going in life, like we're here to be supportive in many, many different ways. And that's what I'm trying to bring with the little bit of kindness, with what we do, with all of these things, is just to enlighten you. And I would love to have you participate in the program if you want. We're probably going to break it down to monthly classes because the girls are really enjoying just learning. And I'm learning so much more about myself and feeling empowered. More empowered about who we are, because I believe in what I have to offer. I believe that we all have something to offer. We all have gifts, and you just have to look and find it. And that's what we're here to help you do.
Oh, thank you.
And it's
Frankie.
interesting as you go through the program that you kind of think, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I don't want. And just every week you go through and you can't answer I wasn't able to answer some of the questions, and then you go back and you can answer the questions. It's just trusting the process. And yeah, I've learned so much and grown so much. It's been really good.
So just as a little recap.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Danelle.
When we start taking spiritual classes, I know when I started, I didn't realize how much you needed to heal the healer, because you don't know what you don't know. And when you start digging deep and you're discovering, okay, I do have abilities, I can bring them up, and you actually experience some of those abilities, you're understanding that you're healing some of those inner things. Like you said, you're sitting at home, you're doubting, oh, I can't do it. And then all of a sudden you work through something and it opens you up for a new, so I can see, we call it healing the healer.
Yeah. And it all starts with baby steps. Like, you don't learn something overnight. You don't change things overnight. It's all baby steps and building up that confidence and the courage in your support group, and learning more about yourself and that self-love we talk about, right? That's all about love. Do you love yourself enough to be true to yourself, to honor yourself? Why would you treat everybody else so much better? Every time you do something nice for somebody else, I want you to stop and think, why wouldn't I do that for myself? You are more deserving, or just as deserving as everybody else you take care of. And I think we fail to see that so often. And we are with a lack or a hole, or we're feeling empty or burned out. And that's what I want to bring with the retreats and with the programs, is to help people rejuvenate, find themselves, and honor themselves so they can be more functional people all the way around, have more love to give, right?
Beautiful. Well, Frankie, thank you very much. I think we all can learn through taking those little segments or taking the whole class a little bit more on mindful awareness, intentional living, and reconnecting with your deeper purpose. The other thing to remember as well is you would be learning from the other people that are taking the class also. And it's a safe space. When we talk about safe space, we truly mean safe space. You are agreeing that what happens in the class stays in the class. And you never know what that one person that you come across that happened to be there at that same time that you were might say that's going to make something click for you. So she does have her classes. If you want to find out more, you can go on the app, and there'll be more information on there on when her classes are and how to connect with Frankie. Some other things I want to just do as a reminder. I mentioned that at the end of the month, we are rolling out the Tea Talk Inner Circle Edition. That's where we have our bloopers and our, little behind the scenes type info that that we talk about in our planning sessions and how we come about doing this Tea Talk show. And like I said, we're new at it. We like our new friends that we're meeting on this show. We look forward to seeing you each and every month. So thank you for that. Keep spreading the joy and the love on that. I would like to also say that if you are in the Sierra Vista, Arizona area on Saturday, May 16th, we will be at Metamorphosis. They are having a psychic fair of different. We're like I said, we want to build community. We're joining with the other groups within the community to present that. And for those of you that remember, we had Jackie, our astrologer, on. It was a great hit. And then some of you may remember that her husband recently passed away. And so she was going through some difficult times there. I'm proud to announce that she is back and up and running and so forth, and is looking forward to being able to connect with you and be part of it. She will be at the Metamorphosis Center as well. And I do believe she is still going to be, does still have some of the collection and so forth. So if you are in need of some different things and stones and so forth, reach out. We can potentially connect you. So
she
with
still
that
does
in
the
mind,
astrological readings, correct?
she will do
And
those.
classes.
Yes,
Yeah.
she will do classes, and
good.
she is looking at getting back into that and so forth. So we'll just figure out what's going to happen there. I invite you, as we get ready to go into our next segment, which is going to be the affirmation, followed by the crystal, is as you are thinking about some of the things that you wrote down with your intention when Frankie was doing this exercise, have that in mind as because I'm sure Danelle's affirmation will also help amplify that and solidify the things that you want carrying forward. So, Danelle, if you would be so kind as to bring us our affirmation, we would appreciate that. Oh, sorry. There's one in every crowd, Danelle. Kendra.
Go ahead,
Always.
Kendra.
Always. I just wanted to clarify a couple of things because we've talked about the app. So for those of you who don't know, the app is available on the Google Play Store or Apple, your Apple apps. It's a little bit of kindness. Type out the whole word, a little bit of kindness, and that'll give you the link to the app. Also, Frankie, I believe that the listeners who may not be watching or seeing the ticker on the bottom of the show here, they can go to a little bit of kindness.org, and that's where they can link under services to this life coaching program that you have.
Yeah, and all of our services that we offer on there. We have a variety of healing and all of that. But yes, you can link there through the website, a little bit of kindness.org as well. Don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel or Facebook if you're here. We forgot to say that. I got a little passionate about what I was talking about.
And follow us if you're listening to us on a podcast. Please follow us on the podcast too.
Yeah, because we're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, and Apple.
And if you leave a review, a 5-star review, it has people can see us. They find us. So if you feel inclined, we would love that.
Yes, please.
Now, we did discover from some feedback that saying the affirmation out loud while we're all unmuted is not the best option. So when Danelle says, repeat after me, feel free to do that in your mind.
I won't say that.
Let's just hear our beautiful Danelle give the affirmation.
Thank you. No, when you're doing this, when I'm saying it, I want you to think of it in your mind. I'm going to say it slow for that reason. Just think of it. So I want you to just breathe in and release. I am rooted in who I am. I'm building a solid foundation and opening my heart to receive. I trust the timing, and it will unfold in its perfect moment. I am blessed. I am grateful. Breathe that in and release. I hope that helps.
I like
Wonderful.
that. Thank you.
If-
Yeah,
I
very
believe
nice.
we have aquamarine is the crystal of the month. So, Frankie, you want to help us out with that?
Okay, so aquamarine. I have this little clear piece here. It's very beautiful. It caught my attention because I don't see this very often. I think I got this in Lilydale has a Florida sister campus, and I was there in the Florida campus getting this. So aquamarine is a blue variety of the mineral beryl, it says, and it is Latin meaning water of the sea. And I thought that was so ironic because it's blue, right? So it's about, they said they used to have chalices made out of it to cleanse or purify the water. Historically, sailors carried it as a protective talisman for calm waters and safe travels. Maybe to protect them from mermaids too, right? So it's good for calm, peace, and emotional balance. Think of water. When you think of water in the tarot, you think of water. It's about emotions. So when you see this blue, it's emotions. It's also good for the throat chakra. It's good for communicating, speaking your truth gently, but it's gently, not forcefully. Okay. So I think this ties in with something Shannon said about gentle, or someone said about the astrology. It's often used for clarity, intuition, and emotional healing, associated with flowing energy instead of resistance. So think of water and how water flows. So go with the flow is the spiritual feeling of the aquamarine. Okay. So I think Shannon's got a piece. Let's see.
Yeah, this
Shannon's
one's
got it's
out
in
of
a little.
Portugal. This
It's
one
hard
I
to see
got
it, but
at
it's
the
a
rock
little-
shop.
It
How's
is hard
that?
to see.
Better?
Yeah, it's clear. It's sometimes it can be really translucent too, so it's hard to see
Yeah.
sometimes.
Mine is the pale face version.
So Kendra's got the raw, so it's raw. Is it blue, Kendra, when you turn it?
It is. It's kind of like a
Okay.
turquoisey color.
Blue.
Um,
Okay.
So it's mixed with some other
Okay.
stuff there. But yeah,
Okay.
it's blue turquoise color.
And then Danelle's got a piece, and hers is really clear too and translucent. Very
Mhm.
pretty. All right. And Natalie, do you have a piece or no?
I do not. I have a quartz crystal.
Okay, so we'll use that for amplifying. Okay, so let's send this out for some gentle flow, and for gently speaking your truth. So let's go ahead, and we're going to send out a few seconds here of healing energy. Clear out your throat chakra and just feel that gentle flow of energy flowing through you emotionally and spiritually. Let it wash away anything that we talked about today you don't want to carry, and align you with your future purpose. All right. Beautiful. Thank you if you joined in for healing. If you had anyone special, we'll send some healing to them too. Okay. That's our aquamarine.
Well, thank you. Thank you, friends, for joining us. We were glad to have you. We hope we helped you in some manner. And we look forward to seeing you next month. Again, don't forget, end of the month, we're going to have the Tea Talk Inner Circle edition.
Yeah, so
We're going to
look for
have
that
some
on our-
teasers. We're going to have some teasers on about the show. So look for it on the Facebook page. And yeah.
And
A little bit of
YouTube. So
kindness. Mhm.
make sure you're following on
Right.
YouTube, because that's probably where the teaser will drop. And also the segment. So check out the YouTube, like and follow us if you're not. If you haven't downloaded the app, A Little Bit of Kindness on Apple and Google, it's free to download. Lots of great nationwide practitioners sharing short videos with their gifts. Kendra showing you what the app looks like right there. So be sure to put it on your phone. Check it out. Again, A Little Bit of Kindness. And if you have questions about anything we talked about today, or anything you want to see us do more of, or we would like to see in the future on shows, drop a message at alittlebitofkindness.org on the website, and we'll be happy. We would love to take those, or put them in a comment on YouTube, and we will see them when they come through. Thank you, guys. We love you.
Wait.
And
Before we go, did we have
Oh.
answers we needed to provide? I'm sorry.
no,
I
that's
don't know.
okay.
I don't know.
I know somebody
Laura
was going to
just
ask some
comment.
questions.
I didn't see her ask a
Mm-mm.
question.
No, I think
Okay.
she thought I was doing readings, because sometimes I do readings and come on
Oh,
and
okay.
Oh,
They
okay.
want-
Okay.
they want to ask a question. So, and that's Mia. She usually asks questions. when I do readings.
Wendy.
If anybody
Um,
needs a question, go to the app for sure.
Yeah. So go to the app.
Right.
And yeah. All right. Well, thanks.
Okay.
What,
Thank you,
Shannon?
Wendy. I
Okay.
appreciate that.
Yes.
Walk
We'll
walk on your grass. Get some grounding. Bye,
And
guys.
join the
We'll
other
see you.
grass.
Oh, wait. Next month, we're talking about star
Oh, yeah.
seeds and aliens. So
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
stay tuned for our live next month. We're going to be discussing star seeds and aliens. So bring your questions and comments about those topics. We're excited to bring you something and see how we all feel about those. As
Okay,
always, have
bye.
a great day. Sprinkle
Thank
a
you,
little kindness,
everyone.
guys.